Speedbird 851, turn right heading 180. Order 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established 27.
Hey everyone, before I begin, I want to put something out there. In this video, I'm going to be discussing donations, money, and more. If you are someone who doesn't like these things, please now feel free to click off rather than have to hear me speak about it. So today I wanted to talk about Patreon, a topic which is known for causing controversy on many channels. You'll usually get very negative or very positive responses. I wanted to give you the opportunity to click off the video if this isn't your cup of tea sooner rather than later, so you don't, in simple words, get annoyed at me for discussing these things. I assume you've now left, but for many months I've discussed with members of our community the possibility of creating a Patreon page, and I've also received comments asking if I could, or if there was a way for people to support me outside of YouTube. So after having these discussions, I did get mixed feedback. Some people believed I shouldn't do any rewards, as it'd mean people that couldn't pledge wouldn't get any of that additional content. Some saying that I was a sellout, don't do it, it's wrong. Some said rewards would be cool, and so on. As you can tell, it's pretty hard to put a balance between all of this to make everyone happy. After months of thought and time, today I launched my Patreon page. I hummed and hawed at this sort of thing, and it's taken me hours just to write this script because I wanted to perfect it, and also it's taken months to come up with the rewards set, because personally I feel that people pledging should at least get something in return as a thanks for supporting me financially. Now before I go any further in this video, I want to let you know some important things. Content on the channel won't change, content on the channel won't go, and you will never have to pay to watch this content. Now, something that was pointed out is my younger viewers, who probably don't have access to their own credit card and maybe their own money. In turn, these viewers would miss out on the new particular content which was exclusive to Patreon. I've shaped the Patreon, as I'll explain later, to offer some exclusive content, but more so perks and additional control over that free content which is on offer right here on DJ's Aviation. The tiers will, as mentioned, be explained later in the video, so you can kind of get an idea what you're paying for and then what you're going to receive. What is a Patreon? Patreon is a crowdfunding website which allows you to support your favourite creators that little bit more. In return, you get exclusive content not found elsewhere, or special privileges. Unfortunately, Google AdSense isn't stable, and often cannot support a content creator. Therefore, a Patreon allows creators to have an extra source of income, which is stable. This will ensure that they can continue creating the content that you enjoy and consume on a daily basis. So why didn't I just do Super Chat? The Google live streaming option. Well, I became aware of this later on, but Google takes 30% of all Super Chat earnings. So the money that you, my amazing audience, is actually donating to me is not going solely to me. It's mainly going to Google. Patreon is a little different. You as the creator receive more of the earnings, and I believe it's in the 80 to 90% range. But why did I make it? Well, I made a Patreon for a number of reasons. First of all, if you are unaware, YouTube is my job and my sole source of income. As mentioned, Google AdSense is unstable, very unstable, and can fluctuate every single month. This means you never truly know how much you will make. It isn't like a normal job. Some of you may be aware of this, but others may not. It costs a lot of money to run a YouTube channel. While you consume the content on the app for free, the costs for me are substantial. Maintaining the equipment I use to keep producing videos, the application subscriptions such as Lightroom, Photoshop, and a whole heap of other ones, the running fees like internet costs, electricity, and more all do add up. A pledge on Patreon essentially supports me that little bit further. It allows you to help support me as a creator, and not only fund better equipment to improve the quality of what you're watching, but also allow me to do this potentially full time without the concern that one day I won't be able to afford a repair for my computer, which would cease videos altogether. Or at the very least, it will keep the channel running at the rate it is now. Before I show you the Patreon, a few people said they didn't feel rewards were needed because they just want to support the channel because they love what I do. This is why, as you'll see in the Patreon, I have tiers, which allow you to just get the very basic things. However, if you wish to pledge more, you will get exclusive perks. Let's take a look at that Patreon. Okay everyone, this is essentially the Patreon page. Down the middle you'll be able to see this is kind of the about section. Over to the right there are the tiers, and that's what we're going to be focusing in on now. The first tier is economy class, which means you'll pledge $1 or more per month. And what can you expect from pledging to become a part of economy class? You'll get exclusive interaction with the Patreon community, access to Patreon only content, and access to exclusive polls determining where the channel will go in the future. Our next tier is the Windows seat. So what can you expect to get if you pledge to the Windows seat, which is $3 or more per month? You'll get access to the exclusive monthly Q&A, and I'll answer your questions only. As you may have been aware, I've been working on a 100,000 Q&A for some time now. I got well over 500 questions, and it's impossible to answer every single one. By pledging to this tier or any of the higher tiers, I'll be doing a regular monthly Q&A on Patreon where you'll get the opportunity to get your questions answered. You'll also get all the previous rewards which were featured in the economy class tier. So our next tier is the premium economy tier, and that's $5 or more per month. Now this has a lot in it, so what can you expect if you were to pledge? You'd get your name mentioned at the beginning of the DJ show, but you can opt out of this if you wish, or you can just get a first name or a nickname. You'll have to let me know though. You'll get access to the DJ's Aviation podcast. You'll also get access to behind the scenes pictures of things I'm getting up to, the recording setup, videos I'm working on, and so much more. You'll also get all the other previous rewards that were in the other tiers, and they'll be over to the right of your screen. Our next tier is business class. Now this is $7 or more per month, and what can you expect to get if you pledge to business class? First of all, you'll get to ask me questions on the DJ's Aviation podcast. So what I plan to do is, at the end of every single podcast, I will answer a few of your questions, and this is where you'll get the opportunity to do so. You'll also be credited on all of my videos in the description with your first name, last name, but you can say, I just want my first name, I just want my initials. That's entirely up to you, but you'll be recognized as a patron of $7 or more. And then you get all the other rewards, of course, which are on the right-hand side of your screen now. Our final tier is first class. And what can you expect to get from first class? You'll get a monthly blooper reel. I should mention this is $10 or more per month. But you'll get a monthly blooper reel, and I've made around 25-30 mistakes in this particular video alone. That's from stuttering, not saying the words correctly, and so on, and it is quite funny when you compile it all together. So yeah, I'll be putting out a monthly blooper reel for those people. You'll also get a social media follow on Twitter and Instagram, so you'll need to be sending through your name so I can give you a follow. This pretty much means you'll get direct communication with me far easier, and I'll be able to talk to you and answer your questions more direct. And of course, you'll get all the other tiers like the exclusive interaction, access to the Q&A, and so on. Finally, I'd like to mention, if this sort of thing isn't for you and you don't want all the rewards associated with it, when you actually go to pledge, it gives you an option for a one-time donation. So if you just want to support the channel once off with maybe $2, $1, $500, I'm just giving random amounts there, you can, and that's not a reoccurring fee. That's kind of like a super chat donation, but through Patreon, and this may be more to your liking. Now, I'm not going to be pushing this Patreon in every single video or asking you to pledge in every single video. At the end of the day, you can if you want, but if you can't pledge, you shouldn't feel like you're forced. There'll be a link in the description, and I may give a shout out to any new patrons, but other than that, you won't be hearing me promote it. Basically, this is because I don't want the people who may or may not be able to afford to pledge feeling bad. I wanted to make this video to give you an explanation. This video will probably get a lot of backlash, but honestly, I'm not fussed. This is being done for the people that wish to support me and what I do financially, or that little bit more, and that's pretty much it. It might fail, it might do well. I want to thank you for your amazing support you show me, and of course sitting through this video of me just rambling on. If you do pledge or donate, I really appreciate that, but if you don't, then that's completely fine. I look forward either way to you joining me in the next video.
And we'll fly.